So excited to be here with you to really look into and talk about what you might be taking for granted in your business. I just wrapped up this fundraiser with Marianne Williamson. One of the things that Marianne said that really woke me up is she does not take for granted for even a moment that being out there saying the kinds of things about her belief system, her government, her opinions about the way this world is being run. You know, the water's being polluted, the Clean Air Act is getting revoked, right? Like, we're being poisoned, essentially. She's speaking out about it at churches, at mosques, in convention centers. And she doesn't take for granted for even a moment that in many other countries on this planet, if she were to be standing up and saying the things that she's saying here, the police would come and shut the whole thing down, very possibly drag her off to jail. And she spoke about the need for the reminder of what we must be deeply appreciative of. And I want to speak into the opportunity that we have as entrepreneurs, that we have freedom of speech, we have these tools. I can just hop on Facebook Live and say so much and speak so much of my own heart and mind. You can do the same thing. And where are you holding back because of old beliefs that you might not be good enough, or that who do I think I am to say these things, or if I really stick my neck out and say what I really believe, like, people are gonna leave me, I'm gonna end up abandoned, I'm gonna outshine other people. What is it for you? What are you taking for granted, and how is that having you hold back? Because as Marianne was speaking, she was speaking about once we can actually get in touch with the deep appreciation for our own ability to express, hand in hand with that comes a responsibility to maintain that, a responsibility to uphold and maintain our own spiritual freedom, our own democracy. What can we do now, not yesterday, now, to put a stake in the ground for our own deep appreciation and reverence and responsibility to uphold the spiritual freedoms that we have? This is not a talk about politics or who I'm voting for or who I encourage you to vote for, right? This is a talk about the opportunity that we have. Marianne's a colleague of mine, she's a friend of mine, and to know somebody so intimately who's actually running for presidency is something that woke me up. I was up in the night thinking about it. Like, it's not about who ends up in the Oval Office. It's about the courage that it takes. I mean, the courage that it takes for anyone to go and run for president. If Marianne can freaking stick her neck out there and run for president, you and I can start these businesses. I don't care who votes for who. What I'm looking at is the opportunity that we now have before us to bring the energy through, to bring our anger through, to bring our passion through, stand for what is good and right and beautiful on this planet. You and I have a responsibility. You know, we have a responsibility to maintain what we know to be true about health and wellness and right relationship and money consciousness and doing the right thing. I'm staying at my friend Lynn Twist's house, and her and I were just speaking about ritual and the importance of ritual. And Lynn made a comment that the more we enter into the realm of technology, the more we spend our hours wrapped up in technological connection, the more and more important ritual becomes. Gathering in person, sitting down to remember who it is that we truly are, asking ourselves on a regular basis, what am I taking for granted? What am I not doing my gratitude practice around? Gathering in person, right? We just gathered with over 200 of the most incredible women entrepreneurs in San Diego for the first time. I was nervous to do my first event in Southern California. We had never done an event there. How would it go? Are women in that area going to want what we have to offer? We sold out. It was amazing. We didn't have a beach, so we couldn't do the beach circle. So we did the circle on a spot of grassy lawn overlooking the marina. We can't throw rocks into the ocean, which is part of the ritual that we do to sort of balance all the internet marketing and the digital business tools that we teach. We do ritual out on the sand. We throw rocks into the ocean to release what it is that we're letting go of. We couldn't do that. I couldn't have over 200 women chucking rocks into the marina full of sailboats. So rather than, spinning out in my own story of what can't happen, my team and I got together and we did this amazing money ritual. They loved it. We went crazy. Women were coming out of that ritual, popping clients. They were coming up to me. Oh, I just had somebody buy a session off my website for the first time in 4 months. I just landed a client. There's something about using what we have in every moment and just showing up. I was so afraid that ritual was going to be cheesy. They loved it. There's so much going on the planet right now. Are you willing to show up, right? When you're asked to do something, when you're asked to go do an event in a town that you don't usually do events in, when you're asked to create a ritual with less resources than you usually have, when you're asked to move forward and make a follow-up call to a potential client, even when you just got really bad news about a check that bounced or your financial situation, what's true is that it's about showing up. Marianne Williamson spoke so articulately last night about the people that she's running against in this presidential race. She said, I don't see myself as running against anyone. I see myself as running with them. I wake up in the morning and I think about them and I think they're going through what I'm going through. The desire to create a better planet. So wherever you might be taking for granted your freedom of speech, wherever you might be taking for granted the resources that you do have, the love that you do have, wherever you might be feeling like you're competing with other entrepreneurs, let's rise above that and create a culture of love, right? Regardless of what happens, can you bring more love into the conversation now so that we can heal this thing, turn this thing around, do the right thing for our children, for our children's children, for our children's children's children, and for generations to come by starting businesses that give back. We walked out of the Women Rocking Business Southern California event having raised over $15,000 to help prevent plastic from going in the ocean. In fact, we prevented 10 Golden Gate Bridges worth of plastic. If you could imagine 10 Golden Gate Bridges worth of plastic. We prevented that much plastic from going in the ocean, and we provided jobs for 100 women to walk the beaches and pick up plastic. This is a cause I've been passionate about for a while, solving this issue. Like, the end of oceans is the end of humanity, right? If each one of us could just do the one thing, it's not the quantity, it's not hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's not millions of dollars. If each of us can just do the one thing that's ours to do, we can together unite and create a better planet and create better lives for ourselves. And let's together rise up and rise above the things that we might be taking for granted in our businesses and our lives. Thank you for being the very best part of Women Rocking Business. And thank you so much for your yes and your commitment to changing the world through your business, creating more money, making a much bigger difference, and doing it on your terms. Mwah.